Situasi semasa wabak ini memerlukan tindakan drastik dan untuk itu kerajaan memutuskan untuk melaksanakan Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan.
COVID-19 global pandemic has reached Malaysia on January 25, 2020, with the first confirmed cases involving a traveler from China. By mid-March, the virus has spread rapidly, prompting the government to impose the movement control order on March 18, 2020, marking the start of a national effort to combat the virus. The MCL brought strict restrictions, including business closure, travel bans, and also school disruption, profoundly altering life. As it surged, the government adopted aggressive testing and contact tracing, significantly slowing down the spread by the end of 2020. In early 2021, the National COVID-19 Immunization Program ini program immunity.
Kerana hari ini saya telah pun menerima suntikan vaksin COVID-19 yang pertama di negara kita. Saya yakin bahawa vaksin ini cukup selamat dan berkesan. Kalau tengok keadaan saya setakat ini, Alhamdulillah.
By the end of 2020, over 80% of the population is fully vaccinated, drastically reducing hospitalization and also deaths. This effort will showcase the resilience of Malaysian healthcare system. COVID-19 has tested Malaysia's strength as a nation. Through strict policies, effective vaccination campaigns, and the unity of its people, Malaysia continues to recover, striving towards a more resilient future.
The COVID-19 pandemic had a profound impact on entrepreneurs, creating both challenges and opportunities. The disruption led to widespread business closures, but it also spurred innovation and resilience among entrepreneurs. Here's an analysis of how the pandemic affected entrepreneurship. First of all, business closures. Second, supply chain disruptions. Lastly, reduced consumer spending.
Assalamualaikum, saya Balkis ingin mendemu ramah anda tentang kesan pandemik COVID-19 terhadap perniagaan anda. Okey, selain pendapatan, apakah kesan lain yang menyebabkan perniagaan anda menjejaskan perniagaan anda?
Dalam dari segi ini menjejaskan ekonomi, modal kami tak dapat pusingkan modal untuk perniagaan seterusnya, untuk hari-hari seterusnya. Jadi kami pun perniagaan terjejas juga, macam ada yang tutup untuk yang beberapa jangka masa lah, untuk yang nak dapatkan pusingan modal tu balik.
Cara yang dibuat oleh pihak kerajaan tu menjejaskan ekonomi dalam premis akak ke tak?
Kok mana pun dia pandemik tu dia akan menjejaskan semua bisnes, tapi sebab kita berniaga dalam UM, so sebab staff dah start kerja, maka kita boleh berjalan berniaga macam biasa, cuma kita tak boleh nak macam dia ada penjarakan dia, macam waktu untuk take away tu kat situ macam slow sikit lah, sebab orang dah biasa makan di kedai makan, dia nak macam sembang-sembang, so macam nak bungkus tu dia mungkinlah saya menurun sikit masa tu.
Jadi itu saja. Terima kasih Akak Syifah Jasri atas pengkongsian itu.
Based on the news, we know that the pandemic COVID-19 affects the labour market. The pandemic led to a surge in the unemployment rate in Malaysia. During March 2020, labour force participation rate is 68.6%. and the unemployment rate is reaching 3.9%. Based on the data from the Department of Statistics Malaysia, we know that the number of labor force in March 2020 is 15.8 million, which will decrease 0.2% compared to February 2020 15.87 million, and the unemployment rate was increased to 3.9% in March 2020 compared with 3.3% in February 2020. Based on the data, the highest unemployment rate since June 2010, which is 3.6%, but the unemployment rate during March 2020 is higher than June 2010. It reflects that MCO brings negative impacts on the labor market, especially in sectors that relied on physical operations and human interaction. This was largely due to economic shutdowns. Government create more employment opportunities in Budget 2021. 1. The Skim Jaminan Pensionan Pekerjaan initiative will be launched. 2. Our billion will be allocated to Penjana Kerjaya, a hiring incentive program under PKSO. 3. Our 1 billion will be allocated to implement the reskilling and upskilling programs.
Government response to cushion the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Pakej prihatin ini akan menyediakan bantuan segera untuk meringankan beban yang ditanggung oleh anda semua.
On March 27, 2020, when announcing the RM250 billion Prihatan package to support micro, small and medium-sized enterprises to retain their employees, the Prime Minister announced an additional budget of RM1 billion to cater for medical needs, such as the purchase of equipment and services to overcome COVID-19. The ministry also received support from the insurance sectors, both conventional and Islamic insurance, whereby a RM8 million fund was set up to bolster COVID-19 testing. Each policyholder could go for a screening test worth up to RM300 in private hospitals and laboratories. Other than that, policyholders with financial problems and disruption to their income as a result of the MCO and coronavirus outbreak were given a 3-month deferment on their policy payments. The government also showed its gratitude to healthcare employees by increasing their monthly allowance from RM400 to RM600 per month beginning April 1, 2020, to be continued until the epidemic ends. At the same time, the government has also agreed to extend a special allowance of RM200 a month to military, police, customs, immigration, civil defense personnel and RELA members who are directly involved in the implementation of the MCO. This allowance will also be paid from the 1st of April, 2020 until the end of the outbreak. An estimated 169,000 additional employees will benefit from this.
In 2020, Malaysia's GDP contracted by 5.6%, the worst economic performance since the Asian financial crisis. The tourism and hospitality sectors were particularly hard hit, losing billions in revenue. Unemployment peaked at 5.3%, while small and medium enterprises, SMEs, struggled to survive, with many permanently shutting down. The pandemic has also exposed weaknesses in supply chains, driving up the cost of living and accelerating income inequality, with low-income earners hit hardest. However, it has also driven digital transformation, with businesses adopting e-commerce and remote working solutions to adapt. The recovery began with the successful vaccination campaign given to the people and large-scale stimulus packages such as the Prihatan and Penjana plans, which injected more than RM300 billion into the economy. The government is prioritizing sectors such as green energy, healthcare, and technology to drive growth. Despite the challenges, Malaysia is heading towards recovery. GDP growth picks up again in 2021 and 2022, supported by strong export demand and domestic consumption. Efforts to attract foreign investment and support SMEs are essential in creating new jobs and fostering resilience. While the scars of the pandemic remain, Malaysia's recovery journey is a testament to the nation's resilience. Together, we can build a stronger and more inclusive economy for future generations.